What's up, guys? It's SumNoob here. Today's video, we're gonna just be talking about change and why you shouldn't be afraid of the changes that might occur in your life. I myself have recently gone through quite a few changes and wanted to go ahead and talk about that with you guys today because I think we all go through some minor anxieties when it comes to changing things about yourself and your life and everything that goes along with that. I couldn't really come up with a skit today. I wanted to do a skit, really did want to do a skit today, but I don't have the energy for it. I don't know if you can actually hear it in my voice, but I'm kind of tired today. It's been a rough one. Had a hard time getting going. And I didn't really feel like just throwing up another montage because I want my montages to start having some better editing to them. And that takes a lot of time that I don't have today. I have cleaning of my house to do, and I have a pool league to go captain today. So I don't have a lot of time to really put effort into a full-on edit like I'd like to. But one of those is coming soon. So keep your eyes open for that. But without more rambling from me going on, we're going to go ahead and get started and talk about this. And why you should not fear the changes in your life that you want to see. All right, so jumping on into this, well, let's talk about like why would we even talk about this topic? Why would we even go into this whole fear of change thing? Well, when I pick this kind of stuff out, as far as deciding like what I want to talk about, what I want to do a skit about, etc., it's always about something that I've experienced myself in my life, in recent time or whatever. If I've experienced it, somebody else has experienced it, and they're probably like struggling with something. I've seen it in my life recently. The people around me are struggling to go through certain changes that they need to implement to improve their overall well-being. And it sucks to see people struggle. So like, if I can help you by describing my own struggles and what I've done to get past them, maybe I can help you get over whatever the hell it is you're going on in your life, because let's just keep it real quick. Life fucking sucks. And sometimes you just need some help to get over them humps. Also, really quick, before we get into this too deeply, y'all are gonna have to bear with me. I haven't done this kind of content in a long time. So it's gonna get awkward, it's gonna be weird. Just vibe with me on this. We'll get through it. I promise I got some good words of wisdom for you. I just need you to stick it out with me for this one, okay? We're gonna get better at it. I need you to stick it out with me, okay? Hang in there. All right, back into it. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and go into, when should you look for a change? Why should you make a change? When you're thinking about making a change, like, what's the deciding factor when you pull that trigger and say, I've had it up to here, enough's enough, I'm breaking up with you, I'm moving into a better apartment, I'm changing this shitty job. When do you make that decision? When is that the right move for you? Well, I'll just talk about myself real quick on that to give you an idea. I've changed my job recently. I went from making buku bucks to making now less buku bucks, to, keep that vague for you. But I'm a lot happier because I enjoy my coworkers and my boss, and I am actually happy with my job now. Working mobile sales now, if you're curious as to what I do now. Whereas before I was a technician over the telephone, that I answer the phone 50 times in a day for 8 hours a day, and I couldn't get out of my chair to go to the bathroom because, the big wigs that make millions and millions of bucks would yell at you over it. And I am not kidding about that. It was like the headset was a ball and chain connected to my face for 8 hours a day. And if I got up from that seat, somebody was coming down with a big old whip saying, whoosh. That's a whip sound if you couldn't tell. Get back on that phone, take those phone calls. It was crazy. I couldn't deal with it anymore. I've been doing it for 7 or 8 years. I couldn't do it anymore. So I decided my mental health was more important than the paycheck that I was making at this place. And it was time to move on. It was time to do something to make myself happy. And I think that is the biggest factor in when you decide to make a change in your life. anytime you find something in your life that makes you unhappy, unsatisfied, and you finally say, you know what, it's time, you got to go ahead and make that change. One of the biggest mistakes that I've made in my life is not making a change when it was time to make a change. When it was time to make a difference, I didn't do it. And I suffered for it. Even with my job change, I suffered for it. Another recent change I made is to the content that I bring to my YouTube and Twitch channels. Twitch.tv _ we're just gonna cut that part out. Yep, we're gonna cut that out. So it's twitch.tv / SUM _NOOB. That's the channel name. That's where you should follow me to see me play some games live. Come hang out. Anyway, like I was saying, those changes, like I've made changes to those things, and we used to play a lot of Valorant, and that game just was irritating me. So I started playing some lighter games, some RuneScape, some Apex Legends, things I really have fun with. And it's been a much better experience for me and for anybody that watches there. So moral of the story there, be afraid of making those changes. Just pull the trigger on them. Just make a plan and go for it. Which leads me into my next topic. You know, how do you fight the anxiety and the uncertainty that comes along with making a change like that to your life? Like, how do you deal with, you know, you want to get a new job, but the current job that you work pays all your bills and gives you a little bit extra left over to do whatever you want to, whenever you want to. How do you deal with the anxiety of maybe getting out of a toxic relationship, but you really care about this person that you're in this relationship with, and you really, you know, are kind of comfortable sometimes and you want to just try to work it out? How do you deal with moving out of an apartment where, you know, your rent's a little bit cheaper, but you've got like rats and roaches to deal with, and you got to find a way to pay for your security deposits and the moving van? I'm not here to tell you guys that, you know, you should just jump into anything without a plan. Don't just yeet yourself into any old situation without an idea of, you know, what's going to happen when you jump into that situation. Don't quit your job just because one day you said you had it up to here, you can't do it anymore, and you don't got another job or another gig lined up to keep you, you know, to keep you going. Don't go homeless because you don't want to go to work. Don't do it. Don't you do it. All right. But you got to have some kind of plan. Something to get you by, you know, while you're making this change. Because, I mean, changes are scary things. I'll say they're scary things and then tell you not to fear them at the same time, you know. So, like, you know, take that as you will. There's always going to be some kind of uncertainty when you decide that you've had enough of something and you want to make a change. When I went from the call center to the mobile sales place I'm at now, it was kind of scary because mobile sales is a commission-based job. There is a there's an hourly rate, but it's quite a bit less than what I usually make. So there was always a concern of, am I going to be able to pay my bills? Well, if I can't pay my bills with the job, I guess I got to work some overtime. I guess I got to go do DoorDash or Amazon deliveries or whatever it takes to make the ends meet. Fortunately, the ends have been meeting and I haven't had to do anything extra. And it turns out I was worried about nothing, which when you make your changes and they are changes that are good for you, you will find that everything that you were worried about, everything that made you anxious about making that change, it turns out to be nothing. It turns out to just be your mind playing tricks on you. So all you can really do is weigh your options, come up with a plan, come up with a backup plan for that plan, and execute it. Pull the trigger, bite the bullet, see what happens. I have found that like 90% of the time, it turns out great. You might be sad for a little while. You might have to, you know, roll with some punches for a little bit. But I promise you, eventually, it just kind of works itself out. Also, let me know down in the comments, guys, of any recent changes that you've made to your life that have, you know, maybe significantly increased your quality of life, or maybe it didn't work out the way you wanted them to. Or let me know about something that you're afraid of changing about your life and you're not really sure about how to go about it. We can come up with something for you. Or it may even lead to a topic for another video in the near future. Let me know what you guys got going on. Let me know what changes are giving you anxiety, what keeps you up at night. A quick final word on this topic though. Just a quick final word, and we're coming up on the end of the video. I appreciate your patience. If you made it this far, go ahead and make sure you drop the like. Make sure you sub to the channel, get some more content like this out there. Lets me know you enjoyed it. But some final words on this topic. The changes that you make in your life, you have to make sure that you are removing long-term pain for temporary pain. Get out of that long-term toxic relationship and substitute that for the temporary pain of being by yourself for a little bit and being a little lonely and depressed for a small amount of time. Sacrificed the mental strain of waking up in the morning to go to a job where you just feel like you're staring into the void for 8 hours a day and there is no end to the despair that you find yourself in. And substitute that out for the temporary pain of maybe not knowing if your next job is going to be able to pay your bills. And having to maybe fall back to a side gig and a full-time job for a little bit until you figure out something else better. Get rid of that long-term aching, forever cancerous pain and substitute out for something like, a cut or a bruise that'll heal over a little bit of time. I promise you, if you think about it that way, change don't seem so scary after that. Anyway, that's it for today's video. I wanted to keep this one short and sweet. Today I woke up, I wanted to create something, a montage, a skit or something, but I had poo brain, like just straight up doo-doo brain. And I had some coffee, I sat around, I watched some stuff on the computer for a little bit, tried to get the creative juices going, tried to get the motivation, and it just was not there. So I tried to, come up with a nice, simple topic that everybody can relate to and that we can at least talk about and go over. Hopefully you like this kind of content, because I do want to do stuff like this more often. But that's it for this one. Everyone take care, be easy. I wish you all peace, love, and prosperity as always. We'll see y'all next time.